has the airport rating changed upwards or downwards within the last 6 months? Because I understood that Moody's was here and we was not sure really and truly what transpired. What is the liquidity position of the airport since government has been providing liquidity support to the airport company? And the question would be, is the airport able to meet its obligations timely on a monthly basis now and going forward? How much liquidity support money has government provided to the airport so far? And how much more will government be providing? And then the key question for me, how is the money, the spending of this support being monitored from government to the airport? Very important for me. Because I know there were some conditions laid out what the money should go for, based on the experience what we had with the bondholders, with the insurance money, what transpired. And then my very important question, because how much money has the airport spent on legal fees over the past 2 years? And then, yes, the famous one that was just announced, the issue of the arbitration with Nagico. We got that. I had that here to ask, but we got that already, so I would not go and ask that question. And then also, what is the final expected cost to realize the reconstruction of the airport terminal? And yes, and I go back again. How is the relationship at this point between the bondholders and the airport companies and government? Because nothing was said truly with a follow-up, the meetings, how things are moving forward, because we understood that the bondholders is very concerned, has their concerns, seeing, because we have not heard if the government met with the bondholders, sat with them again since the last meeting, nothing.
So I'd like to be clear on the first thing, on how the funds will be disbursed to the airport. So, and correct me if I'm wrong. There's a loan from the EIB bank that will be given to government, $50 million, and that will be loaned at 4.5%. Can you correct me if I'm wrong? That's a question to government. And then there will be $50 million that will come from the World Bank, also given to government, 51. And then government will take the totality of these funds and loan it to the airport. And now here's my question. How will government loan this to the airport? Will government create an entity, and that entity then handle the disbursement to the airport? Is the government allowed to give out loans to the airport? And how many years will this loan be for? And at what interest rate? And the reason I'm asking this is I know even at, for example, at APS with the housing the OREX situation over there, even they can't, even they are looking for a separate administrator to handle the loans at the houses over there. So I would like to know, especially given the fact that the finance ministry is already pretty much understaffed and already dealing with a heavy workload, how and who will be handling this, or which departments? And I was wondering, how comfortable is the bondholders with this arrangement? Because I can imagine that if I loaned the airport a couple $100 million, and now another entity is coming into play, who gets priority? Who gets priority? I would then say, okay, well, I need to make sure that my investment is secured. So who gets priority? Who does the airport pay first? Did the bondholders ask, and I could imagine this, and I've seen this before in other financial situations, did the bondholders ask for any financial guarantees, any cash guarantees on their to secure their investment? Did the bondholders ask for any cash guarantees on their investments? Because again, I know how these things work in these markets, the Piper Jeffries and these different bondholders, and they don't make jokes when it comes to other investments coming in and seeing the possibilities of their assets not being paid back. Were there any discussions now that the results of the arbitration came in and it was, I would say, more in favor maybe with the airport? Were there any discussions since the arbitration to have a new meeting with with the bondholders to discuss maybe the possibility of loaning more from them? So instead of paying two separate loans at two separate interest rates, that we borrow more from them. Is that a possibility?
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
To know what phase of the reconstruction is the airport in currently. So what phase is it in? Madam Chair, one of the main points over the last couple months I've been very vocal about is about appointing our locals and giving us the opportunities so that we too can excel. As the Minister of Finance was given an opportunity, the Prime Minister was given an opportunity, all of us in here was given an opportunity on this side because we were voted in by the people. Now, it was quite disturbing to me that there was no vacancy ever published for the position. Okay, I still don't agree with it, but here it is. But the government made a decision to appoint a CFO and a CFO without any vacancy being published, and then now there's vacancies for what do you call it? Somebody that's working next to them, a local counterpart. But if you ask me, we deserve more than to be counterparts because there were local people running the airport before. Nevertheless, the agreement was appoint 2 members on the board and 1 on the management team in order to get $100 million in loans, $50 million from the EIB bank and $50 million from the trust fund. But currently, you have the CFO, they're working. You have the people on the board, if I'm not mistaken. I would like some clarity on that. So my question is, where is the $100 million? How far is it? We haven't heard any update from the government in terms of how far along the government is with the $100 million. I would like to know what is the definitive or clarity in terms of when it will be
given to the airport. If you ask me, Madam Chair, it seems as if, and I gave the example, and this is just me monitoring and no accusations, but it's just what I'm seeing going on. We're being set up, Curacao, St. Martin, Aruba, to fail. And when we fail, then the kingdom government comes in and they want to assist us, and then they say, yeah, but you need to do X, Y, and Z. Madam Chair, the next question I have is the supervisory board of directors complete? And if so, who are the members of this board? I would like to know the members of the board. And if not, I would like to know which positions are vacant on this board currently.
If colleagues, members of parliament don't see it, if government doesn't see it, I hope the people of St. Martin really see what is going on. And what it is, Madam Chair, is that the colonial government and their sympathizers, Madam Chair, is after our strategic asset in this country that we have built, maintained, financed, operate, run for all the years, including, and most of what we are talking about here now, the Princess Juliana International Airport. For 75 years, Madam Chair, 75 years, we have operated, run, control this facility, this institution. We have built this place. And to no fault of the present government, nor the previous government, and no government to come either, we did not bring Hurricane Irma. But it's what it is, Madam Chair. It's what it is. But Madam Chair, today, both Minister of Finance and Prime Minister and Management Board of the airport have to answer some serious questions. Because it can't be, and I say it over and over, Madam Chair, we made an agreement. We had an agreement. A certain amount of money to rebuild back better, stronger. But more conditions upon conditions and upon conditions seems to be the order of the day. And at no specific time or no time do we get the government saying, listen, enough is enough. Enough is enough. And what's the latest, Madam Chair? And my colleague, MP Franz Richardson, mentioned it. Here we have the CFO, or we can call him whatever we want to call him, assisting in finances, special this, whatever he is. Fact is, he is there, working now. So my first question is, who is paying this good gentleman? And how much is he getting paid? And the agreement was 2 board members, CFO, 50 million from the investment bank, another 50 million. Where is the money? Where is it? Because when you go on the website for the EIB bank, you see it there. You see it there. So, to date, if the CEO is there, if the CFO is there, advising Mr. Mingo, he is advising in a capacity as what? And I don't want to believe he's doing it for free. So who is paying him?
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Viv now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Windward Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
The airport in and of itself has made major strides, and if nothing were being done, you would have been hearing it in this meeting. So it's progressing. And of course, yes, there are some things, and my colleague MP Christopher Emmanuel said something very interesting about what his take on the takeover of the assets, because in our community you hear a lot of people say the Dutch want to take over St. Martin, and and months ago, years ago, I would have said that's far-fetched, but I don't necessarily believe they want to take over St. Martin. They want to take over the lucrative things of St. Martin, the airport, the harbor, those things that generate money. And if you look at history, while allow me to get a little history. But while the British and the French colonial powers were looking for world dominance, the British in particular, Winston Churchill once coined the phrase, "The sun never sets on the British Empire." The Dutch were looking to be traders. They were strategic. They wanted, they didn't want New York. They had what is now known as Manhattan. They didn't want South America. They wanted Suriname. They once occupied Trinidad, Curacao, Aruba, Bonaire, St. Martin, Saba Station, very strategic areas. The Indonesia, very strategic for transshipment. So they don't want world dominance, but they want the lucrative things in there. By nature, they are traders. By nature, they are traders. So that conspiracy isn't too far-fetched. So with that, I would say we have to be cautious. We have to be cautious, and I would like to know, how long is the CFO? How long will he hold that position? Because whether he's appointed or not appointed, that's a station that is already passed, and I think it's important for the general public to know how long will he hold that position, and also for the members of the board. And based on what we are hearing in here, that if a screening was supposed to take place and it did not, and he is working in an official capacity, I believe if that indeed is true, I believe that is wrong. I believe the proper procedure should be followed. What applies for you and me should apply for everyone across the board. It sets a bad precedent for us as a people and for us as a government. And for example, for that, I would like to ask you in particular, Mr. Mingo, how long did it take for your screening to be completed before you could hold that position as CFO? And I believe if these things are in place, they're in place for a reason. And not because you're making 50 or 100 million available, that then all of a sudden that coin phrase by the Dutch, we betaald, comes in, and then all of that is thrown out of the window. So I want to know that.
For the past year, I have studied keenly. I used to see it on the outside. Now I'm seeing it firsthand as a member of parliament and as a member of a governing coalition. I will give you what I describe as a saboteur. These are individuals who either work for government, work for the cabinet of a minister, work for a government-owned company, board members, or operate in the private sector. These are individuals who sabotage projects, ministers, coalitions, trying to work in the best interests of the people of St. Martin. These are individuals, in most cases, who impede the progress of the island for personal ego and envy, but in most cases for greed, Madam Chair, greed. I don't need to call the names of such individuals because they're out in the public. These are individuals, since becoming MP, Madam Chair, I have been able to analyze these saboteurs closely, and I have come to the conclusion that they are the main reason we have seen almost a new government every year since 10-10-10. Since 10-10-10, we have seen all kinds of combination of MPs in Parliament, every possible combination of parties forming a coalition, sometimes even 10 seats, and various council of ministers. I believe the last time, and that goes way back that I counted, I think we probably had over 30 to 40 ministers in the years past. Yet, St. Martin continues to suffer from the inability to see real progress on the issues plaguing our people. We can't seem to implement the solutions needed to create the environment where our people can prosper. Madam Chair, what is very clear to me, and it should be very clear to this Council of Ministers by now, because all you have been extremely targeted on all levels, by media that can't be called media, by people with personal agendas, by saboteurs leaking information left, right, and center, with one goal: to make this government fall so that the process can start over. When the process starts over, they are never held accountable for what they do. Okay? That's the reality that we face in St. Martin. So, Madam Chair, I say there will be no real stability or continuity of government until we reform our government apparatus and deal with the saboteurs. Madam Prime Minister, you definitely know my position on this matter, and I know that you are not scared to tackle and bring the reforms needed so that we can finally see real progress for our people and can live in a society where a person's success is not determined by their political allegiances, but by their hard work. My colleague MP, Emmanuel, just now mentioned about the cell phones. I want to mention about the cell phones too. Great job. For the past week, I've spoken to umpteen civil servants, right? And you know how I know it's working? Some upset. Yeah, they take back my phone, boy. They're taking phones in all departments. Yeah, they take, and some saying, it's about time. It's about time that we take control on the expenses of government. We cannot talk about even touching a civil servant salary until we have cut the expenses of government. Not, I won't say expenses, but the wastage in government. The waste. And we will have another meeting about that, because I will call a meeting on that. I will call a meeting on that.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Jose Helaga and I play basketball. I have organized basketball events in St. Martin. Sport matters to me because it makes everybody come together in unity. So I challenge the businesses community to step up for sports and help us rebuild and repair our facility. I'm also asking the community to nominate local businesses in your area to take on the challenge and step up for sport because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sports SXM Facebook page for more information. Hashtag Sport Matter, hashtag Are You In?
Respond to the members of parliament. Prime Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I caucused with the support group and there were quite a number of interesting questions that really need answering. So a complete and comprehensive response is needed for the honourable members of parliament. So Madam Chair, they have asked for 1 week to deliver this information to the general public. Additionally, Madam Chair, I do agree with the two MPs' proposal for a forensic audit to be done on the airport. So I'm also, by means of this communication, making sure that the Minister of Finance complies as well, because I will be asking for such. And lastly, I do agree with MP Christopher Emmanuel. Enough is enough. So let us bring all the cards on the table. Enough is enough. And Madam Chair, through you, MP Peterson, I have never been scared to do the job that I have been commissioned to do. So I will do what I have to do as long as I sit in this position. I thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Prime Minister, Minister of General Affairs. Did you give the time 1 week? Members of Parliament, ministers, support staff, the Secretariat of Parliament, along with the Secretariat of the Council of Ministers, will determine the follow-up to this meeting, at least the date and the exact date and time given the request by the government for 1 week's time to respond to the members of Parliament.